The message obviously is that as a governing party and as a leading party, we are expected to lead society not only by just the policies that we put in place, but it's also about our behavior. I mean, one of the things that really always gets on me all the time is the amount of littering that happens in our events, and I find it unacceptable, because in many instances there's bins where people are supposed to throw their rubbish. I think that this is one of the challenges that we have in South Africa in general, where our people have not gotten to the point of understanding that littering, really, you are just messing up with your own environment, and that environment is bigger than just throwing a paper around. That's the first thing. The second thing, I think what is important is that there's rules, regulations, and directions which are usually given to our members as they come to the stadium. And this is done through the buses. As they get into the buses, they are given all the necessary information. But sometimes comrades take that for granted and they don't listen, and then when they come out, they don't know where to go, and that causes a bit of chaos, which is unnecessary. And 20 years of democracy and 20 years of organizing these kind of events, I believe that members of the African National Congress should be able to be exemplary. Some of the people that will be coming here are supporters of the ANC. And it will be good for those supporters of the ANC who want to be here to look at us and feel that we take responsibility of all the things that we do. There's another issue, of course, which for me is usually a problem, like when there's somebody on stage who is addressing, and then you get people singing, and then you no longer hear what the person who's on stage is saying. I think that those are just some of the teething problems that we have as the African National Congress, but for me they go deeper into societal problems, because it's not only when I'm at the stadium for the African National Congress. Even if I go to other events, you find that this is always a problem, except for soccer, of course. They always that's a different environment altogether, so. And I also think that I hope people will drive safely as they come to the stadium. You saw the amount of fatalities that took place during the period of Christmas, and so far we are somehow blessed, because we haven't had this kind of accidents as an ANC. I mean, if you think of the number of buses and cars that are coming here, all you can think of is thank God and let God help us, but God can only help those who help themselves. So we hopefully that the drivers who will be driving people here will be very conscious of that, because it's painful for any loss of life. It's very painful for people to lose their loved ones, especially at a period like this. We've gone through Christmas and New Year, and youngsters and children are looking up to their parents to be able to come back safely, so that they can make sure that they take care of them as we begin the year. I think that for me is one of the most important messages that one can send. And also as a way of kindling interest at this point in time, I'm hoping that people will take the manifesto and look at the manifesto and judge us as an African National Congress against our promises, against our delivery, track record of delivery. It shouldn't be just a celebration coming to the stadium and going away, because I think that it's important for our communities to understand that the power is in their hands. It's their responsibility, particularly members of the African National Congress, to take this manifesto, go back to their communities, and not be afraid of explaining what the ANC stands for, what the ANC is promising to do.